Hello everyone, Goddess Allison here, and this is my fourth video in my Budding Goddess Tech Systems training videos. Today we are learning about Paint and Adobe Photoshop. So this is the Paint program. Now this is the program that comes with the PC operating system. If you just go in your start menu and you type in Paint there, you'll find it. This is what the icon looks like right there. Alright, and it's a little primitive. I don't recommend using it, but you can use it if you have to. If you just signed up for AU and you're still up in your hippie chickness and you don't have anything else, you can use it if you really have to make a header for yourself. So in this little tab here, you can go to Properties and you can change the size. You can make it inches, centimeters, pixels, but pixels, this size here is what our WordPress theme required for its header, or what it preferred. Okay, and you're probably wondering, like, why does Goddess Allison have a PC and a Mac? Well, my Mac is 7 years old, and I was so up in my hippie chickness a few years ago, my Mac was acting up, but PCs are generally cheaper than Macs, so I got a PC. But I actually would just love to just get a super bomb awesome Mac and compile everything in one place. But this is what I have for now, and it's good because I can be versatile and show you on both platforms if you have either or. I also got a PC so I could play games because I used to be a gamer, but not anymore now that I found Blissness. See, there's one right there. Gotta delete that. But this is Paint anyhow. This is our header. It's our blank sheet of paper. Now, one thing that I have found with Paint is that you have to open new windows and open your images, so it won't do it in multiple windows for you. Like Preview will just automatically, like if I say open, it'll open it separate. It'll open it right in this window. It won't. I'll just, it says a picture of people riding bikes at my eco village. But where's my header? So where'd it go? Right? So I want to go new, and there it is. There's my header. So you'll have to do a lot of switching back and forth with this program. That's why I say it's a little more primitive and I don't quite recommend it. These here are the select, copy, paste, cut tools there, and you can rotate. These here are the painting tools. You got text there, and if you mouse over, it tells you what the tools do. This is a paint bucket. You can fill with color. I think a lot of people know what that tool does. When I was a kid, I thought that was a graduation hat for some reason for several years. Like up until middle school or high school. I don't know why I didn't see that was a paint bucket. This is pencil, eraser, eyedropper, or color picker as Paint calls it. This is if you have a color that you want to use in your picture, and you just push that and then you click on the color in your picture and you can paint with the color instead of trying to look for it in here. This is your color palette. Brushes, this is what style do you want to paint with, and this is your shapes you could make, and this is the size of the brush that you want to use. It's a very basic program, but if you have to, you can make a header in this program. You can if you have to. But I don't recommend it. This is Photoshop here, and I do recommend doing a little investment into Photoshop if you are, still a budding goddess and you don't have thousands of dollars to pay a branding fairy goddess mother yet, of course, like I would love to do, and you are still on your own making your own stuff. So Photoshop, like, as we know that we are learning in AU, if we invest, we are more abundant. We get back in magnitude what we invest in ourselves. So Adobe Photoshop is a little bit of an investment, but it is worth it for the program that you get. And you can get Adobe Photoshop Elements, which is not as shebang as Photoshop, but it's still good. And I'm going to show you how to use it. The reason that I know how to use it is because when I was in high school, my mother, she taught me how to use it when I was in high school. She worked as a secretary for a bunch of engineers, and she had to make a lot of their training manuals. So she had to know how to use Photoshop to move around the images and edit images in the training manual. So she showed me how to use it. So I know a lot of you budding goddesses out there don't have mothers to show you how to use Photoshop. But that's what I'm here for. Today I'm going to show you how to use this empowering tool. Now you might open this up and you see all these tools here and all of these windows, and you're like, oh no, what is this? Oh my gosh, I don't know how to use any of it, and you get overwhelmed and your breath starts, constricting in on you. Wait, we don't want that. So we want to have an empowering enchanted wonderland. It's just like a dashboard, all this stuff, just like we were talking about in the other videos. A dashboard, it's kind of like a dashboard, and we can look at technology from now on, unfamiliar technology, as an enchanting wonderland to explore that is empowering for us. So I'm going to go over these menus. You got file. I think a lot of us know what file does. New, open, save, and that sort of thing. Exit. This is edit. I think a lot of us know what edit does. We want to cut, copy, paste, and that sort of thing. Redo, undo, delete. This is image. Now if you would like to rotate an image, this rotates the whole shebang here, the whole image, and this rotates just a layer. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that. I went to file and open, and I opened a picture of me, and so this is my picture, and I use the select tool to select my face, and Control C to copy, and then double click on my header and Control V to paste. Oh my goodness, it's so big. What do? Control T to transform, to free transform, right? Because that's what we are doing with our lives. We are transforming ourselves, just like I'm doing with my photo. So you want to push Shift and then drag with the mouse as you adjust this, because if you don't push Shift, it will distort the image. It will free transform it, as the tool is called. So Shift and then resize by dragging the mouse. And if I don't press Shift, this is what happens. See, it will transform disproportionately. So I want to push Shift and resize. So there it is. So beautiful, right? So there I am in my header, an image, and I check this little green box to say, okay, that's how I want it. And any images or text that you put on your piece is going to show up here as a layer. So here is the layer of my image. This is the background layer, which is selected now, this darker one selected, and then the image selected. So if I select the image and I want to rotate, and I rotate the whole thing, that's the whole shebang, I'm going to press Control Z to undo. So that's the whole thing. But if I just want to rotate the image of my face, I can go to layer and rotate. So I'm going to undo that. So this is rotate there, the whole shebang here and the layer here. And this is straighten and crop. I don't usually use those though, but you can if you need to. For those tools. Transform, that's what I was doing. Control T, that's what I was doing with the image. You can also skew, which makes it look you know, you got a perspective view or whatever. So I don't want that, so I press the red circle with the slash through it. And yeah, so in resize, if you want to resize the image for the correct parameters, that's just resizing the image of my face, and then canvas size is resizing the whole thing. Alright, enhance. This is really good to change the contrast, the brightness, the red eye, which is the same tool out here, red eye, and adjust the color and hue. Hue means what is the overall color saturation. So does it have a warm hue or a cool hue? So warm, cooler, and warmer, you know, those are, and you could click OK if you like the changes you made, or cancel. I'm gonna just push cancel. So hues, they can be important to exude the vibration that we want with our erotic brand. Then convert to black and white. We might not want to do that. So layer. Again, this is what I was talking about with these things over here. So this is our layer menu, and if you right click on layer 1 here, I right click and it brings up that same menu. Now what you know, delete layer, duplicate layer, rename layer, you can do that. Like if I wanted to be super organized, I might want to call this photo, you know, or something else, to distinguish it from the other layers that we can add. And then merge down means if I press that, it's going to merge my photo layer with the background. And if I say merge visible, that just means that any layer that is visible with the eye beside it, it's going to merge. So if I have 3 layers and I only want to merge 2 together, I hide one of them and I say merge visible, and it will just merge those 2 layers together. So it will make them together in one layer. Select, this is, you know, selecting the layers or what have you. Filter, this one's fun because you can add a lot of effects to your photos. And then out here, this is the same menu but in a visual format. So this is your filter if you want to make the image look like one of these sample things here. Alright, and then view. Do you want to zoom in, zoom out, and fit to screen? That's really helpful, fit to screen, because if we zoom in a lot and then we want to look at our whole header all at once, we say fit to screen, and there it is, back again. And then window. This is what do I want to see in my dashboard of Photoshop. Yeah, so if you want color swatches down there, you can have color swatches. And if not, then I'm going to take that off. Alright, and now tools over here. Anytime you click on a tool over here, more options come up here to use with your tool. So these tools here, these 8 tools are kind of about selecting things. This is move, this is the hand tool, this is zoom in and out, and if you this one is if there's a color over here that I like, say I like this peach color on my forehead, I'm going to click that and it's going to go into my color palette here, and I can either type text or I can paint with this color down here, and then you can have another one and you can just press switch back and forth like that. So that's the eyedropper tool, or the color picker as the paint program called it. This is the rectangular selection tool. If your tool has a little black arrow at the corner, it means you can click and hold and more tools will come up that are related to this tool. So we could have a round selection tool or a rectangular one. This is lasso, so it's a free selection tool, like freehand selection. Magnetic lasso is very similar to the smart lasso tool in preview in the last video. Magic wand, because goddesses love magic wands, alright, we all do. So this is going to just highlight the certain color and copy and paste that, so that now we're getting greens and browns, maybe darker. It's hard for it to distinguish because these colors are sort of similar. So what if we just wanted this triangle out there? So we could cut that out if we wanted, but I don't want that. I'm gonna click off. Okay, and then quick selection. Say I just wanted to select like my face. Like I could put my face and I could get a mermaid and I could put my face on a mermaid. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Of course it would, Goddess Allison. Okay. And sometimes what my mom would say, she would say these tools are sometimes they're rascals. So you just gotta click the selection tool and click off and it'll turn off all of that gobbledygook you don't want. Okay, this is the type tool. So you click on there and then you have all these options. What kind of font do I want? Do I want regular, bold, or italic? What size do I want? Ooh, 72, that's a good number. And do I want, you know, strike through, underline, and do I want it, what alignment do I want? These are familiar from, you know, Word program. What color do I want my text? Ooh, yeah, hot pink, baby, rocking in our pussy power. And do I want a style on my text? I'm going to type some text for you so you can see how it's different than in preview. So I'll just type alright, so if I want to select just this word and I want to change the settings, say I want to make this 88 because it's really hot, hot, hot. So it only changes that part of it. It doesn't change the whole line like in preview did in the speech bubble, or if I just want to make this bold or something like that. Great. Alright, and also there's a cool effect, arch tool. Okay. Okay. Style. Arc. Okay, and then we can move it around and we got an arc of our text. Great. And then that's the typing tool. And then you can also adjust the, do you want it vertical or horizontal? And it went all funny there because it couldn't really tell that it was vertical. That's what that button does. Vertical or horizontal text. And then crop, of course, is if we want to chop the image up or off. And this cookie cutter tool cuts out a shape from our picture. So I'm going to select the layer of my picture, and I got the star shape up here going on, and I'm going to just, you can crop yourself out there. So I don't want to do that, but that's an option with cookie cutter. And straighten tool will straighten things if they're crooked. Red eye. So these four tools here are like our cosmetic tools, right? Us goddesses love our cosmetic tools. And so red eye is very helpful. You can take the red eye out. Healing brush. Now this one's very interesting. It's like, could be if you have a blemish or something and you want to take it out. So healing brush kind of assimilates the surrounding area into the place that you apply healing brush to. So I got the healing brush here. I'm going to press Alt and it's going to give me a little target. There it goes, little target, and I'm going to target the other part of my forehead here, and then I have a little birthmark right here, and I can just healing brush the birthmark off of my forehead. How about healing brush this part off? So some freckles or whatever. Or I could even healing brush off my eyebrow if you wanted. So that's what healing brush does. And now we're gonna view, fit to screen, and this rubber stamp tool, it's similar, but in this brush, this selection tool is similar for brush and pencil and things. Do you want a fuzzy outline or do you want a sharp one? And this rubber stamp tool is different. Clone stamp is different than healing brush because it will clone the area. So I'm going to push Alt and it's going to give me the target area to clone. I'm going to like clone my mouth, and then look, I can make myself have a mouth on my forehead even. Great, right? Now I got two mouths. I'm talking through my third eye there. Awesome. So that's clone stamp. Then eraser. We know what erasers do, but then you can decide what size do you want. Do you want a sharp edge, or do you want a fuzzy edge? Do you want it blurred edge? Do you want opacity? You know, do you want it kind of transparent, or do you want it totally opaque, 100% erase that? All right, and then, you know, size. You can also adjust the size of any brushes or tools by pushing on the bracket buttons next to the letter P on the keyboard. This is brushes. Same size adjustments options here, and opacity, and then you're going to use the colors down here. You can change the colors in your color palette if you want to paint with a different color. Okay, look at that. And I have a small brush, but it's gonna paint like this rainbow. That wasn't so great, but you could get a bigger one. And I'm making the edge kind of fuzzy, not too sharp. You also have patterns down here. You got stars and leaves and grass, like stuff that goddesses like. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, much better. Okay, so I just painted some stars on there because I love stars, if you haven't noticed. Smart brush tool. I'm not exactly sure what that does, but you could experiment because this is an exploration, right? Smart brush is a little bit new for me. They didn't have smart brush when I started using Photoshop. Paint bucket, again, the one I thought was a graduation hat as a kid. I can't believe I didn't see that was a paint bucket until I was older. And then it'll paint whatever color you got in your color palette here. Gradient tool. This is pretty cool. I'm going to create a new layer so I can show you what this tool does. We're going to call it rainbow. And we've got our layer selected here, and we just draw, and then we can decide what style is our gradient and in what shape here. But I'm just going to make a rainbow shape. You just draw a line, click and draw the line, let go. You got an awesome rainbow for your hot pussy power there. And if I push Control at any time, it brings up the move tool, and I can move the rainbow around. Maybe I want it up there. Or if you see, the rainbow is over my picture and under my text. So if I move the layers around, now if I move the layers around over here, now my picture is over the rainbow, somewhere over the rainbow, right? But I kind of like the rainbow. Now, the nice thing about Photoshop these days is wherever you put the move tool, it will automatically select that layer for you. Didn't always used to be like that. Okay, so there we got a nice rainbow. This is the shape tool. You can have a rectangle, an ellipsoidal tool, line tool. I like custom shape though, because you can have whatever you want. You can choose stars and suns and moons and hearts and goddess stuff. And what color do you want and what style? So if you click on style and you click these arrows, you can get more styles. Glass buttons, image effects, patterns. Wow, neon. Wow. Okay, but I like glass. It's one of my favorite effects. So let's see. I want teal glass today, and I'm gonna make a star. So I'm gonna just click and drag, and it's gonna create me a really luscious, licious, candy-eyed, star-looking shape. Ooh la la! And that's the shape and the custom shape tool. Blur tool. You can blur your image. Sponge tool. I don't actually know what the sponge tool does. It's a new tool for me using Photoshop. But you could go to help and ask, what does the sponge tool do? And then, of course, this, your color palette. And these are all the windows, all the images and windows that you have open down here. And you can just select, and there'll be a little scroll bar here. If you get too many, you can go down and select. And then over here are your layers, of course. And then up here is some effects. So say we want to make this rainbow have an effect. I'm going to just, there we go. Now we can see our effects better. And we pan through there, and what do we want to make? Ooh, look at this. Let's see, double click, and then look at that trippy rainbow. Crazy. It actually looks like it's raining in that rainbow. Wow. So there is our header. Say we want to use paint, and maybe we want to make the background some nice color. What would go with that? Something pink, maybe, of course. We love pink. Okay, and I'm gonna color the background. There you go. Maybe I would have chosen a different color. Ooh, I'm not really all for putting black on things, but right here it might look really good, because I think other colors can exude things better than black. But there we go. That really stands out right there. I totally wouldn't put that on my header, this big black thing. I mean, I don't recommend black for your erotic brand, but that's just my advice. You can do whatever you like, just because of the energy that the color black exudes. Maybe goddesses at AU might not want to do that unless it's totally complementary to what you got going on. Okay, so there's my beautiful header, and if I want to file and save the header, you want to be sure that you save a version as a Photoshop file right here, but you also save a version as the JPEG file. So you got to be careful which file format you're saving it in, because WordPress won't like your Photoshop file format. It would like JPEG. So it's like food. You probably don't want to feed rabbits beef or something like that. So Photoshop, it's a good idea to keep a file in Photoshop format so you can go back and edit it with all the layers that it has. So JPEG, we're going to choose JPEG and save. Now you can choose the file quality and file size. So this is your file right there. But I'm just going to press cancel because I don't actually want to save it. Alright, so and then you would put that on your WordPress site just like we did in the last video. And I hope that was really helpful for our beautiful budding goddesses out there. And next time we're going to talk about autoresponders like MailChimp. So stay tuned for the next video. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.